What's up, family? Welcome back to another video. So today we're talking about the Atlanta Dream versus Indiana Fever preseason game that took place the other day, and this is the last preseason game, I believe, because man, it had everything. And when I mean everything, is I'm talking about rookies showing out, vets trying to set the tone, and we even got a little bit of back and forth drama that had the gym buzzing. So let's start with everybody that's talking about this Te-Hina Paopao versus Caitlin Clark thing, right? So Caitlin came down the court. She hit this cold step back three right in Papa's face, like literally in her face. And that's a moment where, as a hooper, your pride kicks in, right? You just got cooked, and the whole gym knows it. But this is why I respect Papa. On the very next possession, she called for the rock, took her time, hit Caitlin with a snatchback, and cashed the three. And that's what we call a get back. And that's not just highlights, that's basketball maturity. Because in real life, most young players will rush that shot, try to force something, or let their emotions get in the way. But she stayed composed, and that shows IQ and confidence. So with no further ado, family, let's get into the clip. I cannot play the audio due to copyright purposes, but we're gonna check out what happened. So the first possession involves Caitlin Clark having the ball, right? Let me mute it. Caitlin Clark having the ball. So first, as you guys can see, Caitlin Clark is right behind Paopao, number two. They near the logo in the middle of the court. So they're coming down. Caitlin Clark like pushes off of her to get some space, to create space to get the ball in her possession. And then you see Paopao get in her face, ready to defend her. She do a little pivot. She dribbling a little bit. This is where things get dicey for me, though. As you see, I felt like Papa was like smothering her to a certain extent. I don't know if that's the audio or what. I think it's the audio. So okay. So Papa was like on her, and it's like she grabbed her. So you're gonna see Caitlin Clark give her the like the push off to create some space. So that's the push off. Like, get off of me. You feel me? Like, you sitting there smothering me and grabbing me, like you trying to hug me. I'm you supposed to be defending me type vibes. You feel me? So then she pushes off her and give her that boom, water, right? That was Caitlin Clark possession. Now we got Pop Power possession coming down. And this is where like I get like, look, she already has set the screen too early. And I feel like you should have already created space if you wanted that ISO and then the pick come up. But I feel like she set the screen before the ISO. So it got confusing right there because as you see the girl as Papa coming down the court with the ball, and I'm rewind a little bit, you see her setting the screen already. So the screen already set, but it's like she sets a double screen that wasn't even her foot wasn't even set. So I guess you could say a fake screen, but it's the first screen. Look. Then she sets another screen and then snatch back, pops the three, right? So she got back on her. That's the get back. That's the get back, right? She feeling confident. She focused. And that's what it's about, man. That's the beauty of it. That's the entertainment part of it. That's the intensity part of the competitiveness, right? So now let's talk about the team play. Indiana Fever won this game 81-76 and finished their preseason 3-0. That's huge for a young squad trying to build chemistry early. Lexie Hull led the Fever with 14 points, and she was everywhere, right? Scrappy defense, hitting timely shots, not flashy, but effective, and that's the kind of player that helps win close games. Caitlin Clark didn't score a ton, but she dished out 7 assists, and that tells me she's adjusting to the WNBA speed. And in my case, in my view, she's already up to speed. But I guess you can say the endurance part of it, because last year a little bit we seen that Caitlin Clark was a little bit of fatigue in her rookie season, and then in college, Caitlin Clark she could shoot whenever she wanted in the league, and you got to pick your spots and trust your teammates. And real ones know that because that assist counts. That assist count matters just as much as scoring. And then on the other side, the Dream has something real with Papa. She had also 14 points and looked smooth running the offense. She even had a block on Lexie Hull that made me sit up like, hold on, hold on. She playing both sides on the ball now? For real? So that's big because defense is what gets you minutes in the league, well, in this league, and Atlanta needs needs guards who can contribute on both sides. And let's be honest, Paopao coming from South Carolina, where people love to say guards don't always translate to the W, but she's already flipping that narrative. She plays with a pose that most rookies don't have. She reminds me a bit of Chelsea Gray early in her career. Not super flashy, but just efficient and confident. And what I loved in this game is that it wasn't about stats. It was about moments. Caitlin Clark's step back wasn't just a shot, it was a message. Papa's response wasn't just revenge, it was a statement. Like, I'm here too. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of thing that builds rivalries. And rivalries are good for the league. And people um forget Bird versus Tarazzi, Diana Taurasi, Parker versus Fowles. Those moments started with little back and forths, just like this, right? Just like we just seen in the clip. And you need that competitive fire. And I'll play it again while I'm talking so you guys can see it in its full entirety without me breaking it down. But you need that competitive fire right here that I'm showing you. And it's cool seeing two rookies getting at it with mutual respect. And also, let's talk game strategy for a second. The Fever came out strong, scoring 21 points in each of the first three quarters. That's consistency. That's coaching. Meanwhile, the Dream made a strong second quarter run, 12 to 13 at one point, which showed their grit, but they couldn't close it. And that's the difference in preseason games. You're testing lineups, rotations, and seeing who can execute late. Indiana closed better, and that's why they got the dub. And can we stop acting like Caitlin Clark doesn't play defense? She was sliding, staying in front, contesting shots. No, she's not locking people up like Prime Enrique, but she's clearly putting in the work. You gotta respect that. And these are elite scorers we're talking about. Ain't nobody locking up every possession, just like in pickup. You might get scored on, but it's about effort and making it tough. And look, I'm hyped for both of these squads. The Fever are going to be fun to watch, especially once Aaliyah Boston and Clark start really clicking. But don't sleep on the Dream. If Papa keeps playing like this and Ryan Howard continues to be Ryan Howard, um, they could surprise a lot of people this season. And this is the kind of game that doesn't just show up in the standings, but shows you who's really ready when the lights come on. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do y'all think Caitlin pushed off on that step back, or was Paopao holding her? And who impressed you more tonight or yesterday night when this game played? Caitlin Clark or Paopao? As always, hit the like button, sub if you're new. I'll catch you in the next video. Spread that peace, love, and positivity, and let the love supersede the hate. On that note, family, peace.